Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. It's, I believe, my Tuesday video. I'm getting my dates mixed up now, but I believe it's my Tuesday video. And if I'm right, that means I just have to do one scenario right now, because I'm going to be skipping Wednesday this week due to my being away. And I often skip Wednesday anyway. 3 is the minimum I usually go for in a week. So here's the third. It's going to be a scenario on the Pegnitztalbahn, scenario number 4. The plan for this one is the RB30 from Neuhaus to Nürnberg Hbf. So that's going to cover not the entire route, just a portion of the route, but we're going to cover that route as if it was the entire route, because why not? Yeah, here we go. We're going to get one more scenario on the Pegnitztalbahn and see how this route looks in the updated form. I do want to get back to the Huddersfield line. The problem, of course, with the Huddersfield line is that I'm going to be running an 802 if I get that scenario working. Otherwise, I can just find something else and run that for the time being. But I want to get a look at the Huddersfield line, which is the second newest route. And at some point, I'm going to have to come back to the Long Island Railroad if I can find more scenarios for it right now. But I'm not sure offhand if there are any. I think there was a lack of interest in working on the route because of the lag on the route. I think it even stopped workshop projects that were planned. But I could be mistaken. Maybe there is some stuff going on with Huddersfield I don't know about. If you know about any Huddersfield work being done by other people besides DTG, please let me know. I'm very curious about it. And I may actually bring it up on this channel if I see it. So, yeah, for right now, scenario number 4, we're going to be heading to Nürnberg. And let's see. And this is basically the opposite of service number 2. You may remember the service we did up here going to Neuhaus. We're basically doing it in reverse now. So let's see what we can do on this one. Good evening, driver. Please set up your train and allow passengers to board here at Neuhaus ahead of our departure time of 1901. Snow has fallen through the valley today, leaving a very crisp, cold evening for commuters on their way home. Well, that's a shame. Little side note, by the way. I already tried to record this scenario once. I got through a few stations, and then when I went to take off, the train wouldn't take off. When I tried to load the save game, I didn't have a train. I showed up at Neuhaus, and I just had no train. I don't know what the heck happened. I am baffled as to why my save game didn't work. I'm doing this on second try, so there's no real reason behind it other than the fact that there's some kind of weird bug that happened that shouldn't be happening. I am going to report that this happened and see if there's something going on. I want to note, as I'm recording this, the game did have another update today, and I'm wondering if it might be something related to that update. In any case, let's try and get going on this scenario. And we're going to bring up the information. We're going to open the doors. And I'm going to suffer knowing the last 10, 20 minutes of my life have to be redone. Fantastic. So we are at Neuhaus platform right now. And we have a long, long journey today. We are going to be taking this BR class, or this DBBR 648. Class doesn't really go in there, but DBBR 648. And let's take a look at that train. That's what we're driving today. Yeah, I know you can't see it much because it's dark. This side is probably a better view. You also get a view of a nice sedan in the driveway there in the parking lot. We're going to make sure our headlights are on because that's kind of needed. There we go. And that's the main thing I'm worried about. So in the cab, the instrument lights are already on, so I don't have to play with that. I can put the reverser up. And we'll take another nice look at the train here, this time a little bit from a side view. We're going to pull out a little bit here, and there we go. A nice side view of the train, just like that. That's what we're going to be driving in a little while here, as soon as our passenger boarding process is completed in about 2 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm really hoping that we don't have any issues with the game deciding not to give me the train this time, because that will not make my day. That will not make my day if that happens. So, here's hoping. Fingers crossed, right? Let's look at our train as we get ready to depart. Leaving Neuhaus. our next stop is Velden. Our first stop, I should say, is Velden. There is a tiered throttle setting to this train. If you're at a lower speed, your throttle will limit you to 23 kilometers per hour at level 5. Once you cross 23 per hour at a throttle level above 5, throttle level 1 will give you a much higher speed, and so on up the list as well, to the point that throttle level 4 will give you a speed limit of 100 kilometers per hour. So there is a tiered throttle setting on this train. Unique about this train, I actually like it's something different, and it's also something very consistent. As long as you're not on a heavy downhill slope, it's something very, very consistent as well. So we're now up to a speed limit of 110 kilometers per hour. My headlight was not on for some reason. I just noticed that. I'm going to be honest with you, this is my 5th time now trying to start this scenario. I actually had a perfect run going, which I know sounds really weird, on my first try. And then the game deleted my train. I'm not kidding. The train wouldn't speed up at one of my stops. I went to try and load a save game, and my train was deleted. I found myself at Neuhaus platform. There was no train. And the funny thing is, I was actually several platforms away from Neuhaus when I saved the game. So, yeah, something went wrong. I don't know what went wrong. And that's something I'm probably going to be reporting. Because with the core updates, I think something got messed up in the code for saving a game somewhere, possibly. I know, who saves a game nowadays, right? But I'm going to try it on another scenario, on another route. I'm going to see if it happens again. Wow, those are good sound effects. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm putting a bit of a heavier brake on, a little bit early too, I might add. So I'm going to actually take the brakes, ease them off a little bit there. There is Velden station coming in the distance. I may now be coming in too fast. That's a possibility. I think I'm going to stop in time, but I did come in a little bit fast here. Yeah, definitely in time. So as arrival at Velden, stopping at platform number 1. Leaving Velden, our next stop today is Rupprechtstegen. From Rupprechtstegen, let's take a look at our journey here. We're 3 kilometers away from Rupprechtstegen. Going to bring the throttle down to a level 5. We're actually going to bring down to level 4 because I don't think we're going to need to go 100 here. No more than that, I mean. So after this, we're going to go to Vorra, to Hohenstadt, Hersbruck, Reichenschwand, Neunkirchen, which I believe is where the branch line goes off, Lauf, Ludwigshöhe, Rückersdorf, Behringersdorf, now 37 kilometers away, and then we're going to reach the Nürnberg area 4 kilometers later, where we're going to get to RE30, Ost, and the main platform, 46.5 kilometers from our current location. That's our journey for the day. I'm actually recording this a few days ahead of time because I'm going to be away for the next week. I'm trying to rush this in. This is now my 5th time trying to record this after what started out, I think I said already, to be a perfect run, and then my train being deleted. That got me a little upset. because I can't use any of that footage anymore. The save game was useless and everything. So I'm trying to slow down gradually here. I went ahead and put the brakes on a little early to limit the time at the station that I need to spend. So that brings me in a little slower, but I need to put those brakes on a bit heavier again now because I'm coming in faster than I wanted to. So I'm definitely within stopping speed now. I'm just bringing the building area on the HUD next to the train. I'm going to try and stop the train now at that area. Perfect. Arrival at Rupprechtstegen, platform number 1. Leaving Rupprechtstegen, our next stop is Vorra. This is the stop that actually broke my scenario, so we're going to see if I can get past it this time. I'm going to have to do it without saving my game now, because I don't trust the save game to keep my scenario intact at this point. So as you can see, I stopped at a level 4 throttle to limit my speed to exactly 100 kilometers per hour. We're going to be entering a 110 limit up ahead. So I have to make a decision if I want to move my speed up and try to keep it at 110, or if I want to just keep it static where it is at 100. I could just keep it at 100 and I think I would still be on time. So I may just leave it here. Let's take a look. Three kilometers to go. That's plenty of time. I'm just going to leave it at 100. There's the station marker right there, in fact. My headlight go off again? No, it's on. Headlight is on. I guess some things don't light up on the track for whatever reason. Some things are not lighting up. Now I know at night you can't see very much, but we can see a little bit out the window on the left here. You can see the village in the Vorra area is very well represented here. So Vorra, coming to represent. There's a 120 up ahead, so we are going to eventually get to run at a level 5 throttle. For right now, let's bring this down to 0 and start braking. We have the time, we can use it. So I'm increasing the brake application now because I started to get a little too close to the platform for my liking. We have what looks like an implosive light show. I say implosive light show as in a building implosion. But the lights get static as you get close to them in the cab window here. We're going to stop right here alongside the platform. I might have gone a little too far now before hitting the brakes fully. At least the back car will be alongside the platform area, in the building area on the bottom of the hut, I should say. Arrival at Vorra, platform number 2. Let's see what happens here. Leaving Vorra. We're actually moving this time, which is good news for me, because I haven't been able to do that yet from Vorra today. So, leaving Vorra, our next stop is Hohenstadt, platform number 2. So I'm inclined to believe what was wrong was something with the save game just corrupting the game all of a sudden. I'm convinced that's probably what happened. It's amazing how the thing that you do to make sure you don't have a problem in completing a scenario in case something goes wrong can also break a scenario. Be very careful with your save games. I'm going to leave my speed at 1... Well, I was going to, but I'm at 102 right now. I'm going to leave it around the 100 area for right now because there is a 120 limit coming up. The level 5 115 will come in handy when I get to that speed board. Okay, I'll start increasing that speed now. We're now under the 120 km per hour speed restriction. We're going to eventually be getting speeds up to 130 and 140. Until then, we will enjoy what we get. It's still fast. We are a full 4 kilometers from Hohenstadt. At the speed limit, we could literally do that in 2 minutes. So as you can see, with 4.5 minutes to get there, we shouldn't have a problem. Now, I'm not quite at the speed limit. I could do it again by moving to level 6 briefly and letting the speed punch up like that. But I don't want to speed past 120, so I have to make sure I don't hit 120 because I could have issues if I do. There's Hohenstadt about 1.75 kilometers away. I'm going to go ahead and bring the throttle down to idle at this time. And with an idle throttle, that will allow me to start planning my declination of speed. So I have a 57% brake currently applied. That should do the job to get me down to a decent enough speed for platform entry. Might be working too well, so I'm going to bring it back to a 47% brake. Okay, we're going to put the heavier brake on. We got lots of time, so I can come in slower if I need to. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm at 36 entering the platform. which is right around where you want to be. So we're going to bring the brakes off for a moment to coast in, and we're going to put a smaller brake on to start slowing down at the appropriate point here where the passengers should be waiting. And there we are, arrival at Hohenstadt, platform number 2. Leaving Hohenstadt, our next stop is Hersbruck. Stopping at platform 3B at Hersbruck, we have a 120 km per hour speed restriction, which means I'm bringing the train up to a level 5 throttle. We have a 130 speed restriction coming up, which means I'm going to be able to take it to a level 6 throttle and maybe keep it there. I'm not sure I want to take that risk though. Another train coming in. I'm at 115 for right now. I am going to go ahead and take advantage of the ability to put the train up to 130 in a bit. We have almost 5 kilometers to go. We have 4 minutes to make this journey. So I could just leave it where it is. Everything's green. .130 is now our limit. No, there's a 110 up ahead. You know what? I'm going to leave it where it is. There's a 110 up ahead. Playing around, I'm thinking to myself, do I want to keep the speed where it is now, or do I want to lower it now? I think I can keep it where... Well, the platform is beyond the 110 anyway. Might as well bring it down. Platform's 2.5 kilometers away. We'll idle the throttle completely, actually. There we are. You see there is a 140 beyond Hersbruck. Or as I like to call it, Freedom. I did not mean that much brake. Let's just do a nice casual brake here, shall we? Now, I might have missed a distance signal there. No, it looks like everything's clear. We do have lots of time, so I want to coast in right now at 40 anyway. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and let a small brake on because we are entering the platform. Doesn't look like it, but we are. The HUD seems to disagree. I think it's because it's two different platforms. There's a 3A and a 3B. So we're skipping 3A, which is the one we entered. Now we're entering 3B. And that'll do it. Arrival at Hersbruck, platform number 3B. Leaving Hersbruck. Our next stop is Reichenschwand. I didn't move to 6, I stayed at 5, so I lost some temporary speed there. Or rather, I didn't gain that temporary speed. You can see the green signal right there, so we are clear to go. We're going to be entering a 140 kilometer per hour section. A good time to try out throttle level 6. Wouldn't you agree? Well, after we get to the 110 area through there, now we can go to throttle level 6. Let's see what this does. We're not going to get to find out. Platform is 2.5 kilometers away. Okay. Want to see if it stops at 130. I don't remember if it's 125 or 130. It might be 130. I'm not going to have time to find out. We're going to go ahead and bring it down. This stop is going to be a little bit tighter than the previous ones. We have to stop at 1933. We still have 2 minutes, so when I say a little tighter, there's still time. We have an all green distance signal. I'm going to need a much heavier brake now because when you come in at a much faster speed, you need a lot of extra time to stop, a lot of extra space. So the heavier brake is going to be very handy for bringing this train down. Now I can ease it off a little bit because I did get to a more manageable speed. So I'm good at this point. Ease it back to a 44% brake as I bring the train into Reichenschwand. There's a train sitting there on the platform. You can see that is a service to Neuhaus. So basically the opposite to our service, going in the other direction. And there is arrival at Reichenschwand, platform number 2. Leaving Reichenschwand, our next stop is Neunkirchen à Sand. $140 is our limit. I'm going to stop at 120 actually on second thought. There's no reason to go beyond 120. The platform's right there, 3 minutes away. Or rather 3 kilometers away, less than 3 kilometers away. And I have a feeling with all these signals so close, there might be something going on with a signal speed restriction. I'm going to keep an eye out for some kind of change in what we're allowed to do at that station. I think a regional line joins or something from that station, if I remember correctly, so I need to be ready to slow down. No indication. But I'll bring the speed down anyway because I'm going to need to slow down for the station at some point anyway. In fact, I'm within a kilometer of the station, so I am going to go ahead and increase the brake force at this time. So there's an additional green light on top of the signal. I'm actually not 100% sure what that means. I'm going to bring it down to 40 now. And nope, there were no problems with speed limits here. I would have been good coming in faster if I wanted to, but I have the time and I want to stop the train at the right moment anyway, so I'm okay with it. Right in the center of the house on the bottom, and that's what I want to see. So arrival at Neunkirchen Asand, platform number 2. Now past the halfway point in our journey, leaving Neunkirchen Asand, our next stop is Lauf. While we're still in the platform area, I'm going to take it easy coming out. I'm going 60 right now. We definitely have a green signal, so that red has nothing to do with us. Now, I didn't have to slow down there. The speed limit is 140 all the way through, it looks like. But since I was in the platform, I wanted to take it easy and, you know, not blow someone's hat off. There's Lauf up ahead, so I'm going to just leave my speed at 100. I think that will be enough. We have 3 minutes to make the stop. Plenty of time. There's a 3, 2, 1 countdown to a distant board. That is an all-green distant board. I see a warning for the 12, which is a 120 speed limit, but I did not see anything else on the indicate on the distant board. That said, though, I am going to start slowing down just because I feel like being safer. I have 2 minutes to make this stop. So I could go down to 60 and I'd still be on time. Not a problem. Peeking ahead in the distance. Again, there's a little green light on top of this signal. Now, the convenient thing about slowing down like this in advance to the station means I have less time to wait at the station. So, anything that keeps me from falling asleep is fantastic. So now's our arrival. Arriving in on platform number 2. Going a little faster than I wanted at this point. I should have slowed down a little more entering the platform, but I didn't. We're still on the platform nice and steady though, so that's fine. There's someone up there waiting too. So that's arrival at Lauf. Leaving Lauf, our next stop is Ludwigshöhe, or Ludwigshöhe maybe, that's how you might say that, with a V instead of a W. 140 remains our speed limit. Not going to hold back this time, we're out of the platform area. There's our green signal. Correction, I'm going to hold back as the station's actually pretty close. Actually, I'm going to need to go a little faster here. We have 2 minutes to make this stop. We should cover that easily. That 1.5 kilometers. The next station after Ludwigshöhe is even closer, so you can see that it's only about 1.5 kilometers or so away. Rückersdorf is up ahead. I didn't mean to do that. Let's keep it where it is. All right. Let's bring the speed down quickly now because we need to. Another train going by. Just making sure all systems were still in order there by trying the throttle briefly. Not that I needed to, but after having my train deleted, I'm a little leery. I put on a little too much brake there, so I need to bring the train in a little more. I may not get all the way to the building. We're going to bring the train to a stop now. This will do. Want to make sure we make that stop on time as much as possible. There we are, right on time at Ludwigshöhe. Leaving Ludwigshöhe. Rückersdorf is very close, and it's our next stop. We have to be there in 2 minutes, but we only have about 1.5 kilometers to go. We need to get up to speed quickly, though, and then come down to a stop just as quickly. Any kind of change in speed caused by signals would be very, very detrimental to me right now. I don't think I could do this with such a speed in place. That'll do. We're going to bring it to a stop. I'm not braking enough at all, so I have a heavy 91% brake right now. Easing it back a bit now. The brake definitely did the job there. And there's arrival at Rückersdorf, half a minute early. Platform number 2. Leaving Rückersdorf. Our next stop is Behringersdorf. We're getting into roughly the last quarter of the journey. This, I believe, will be our last stop before entering Nürnberg itself. Again, we must be at Nürnberg Hbf by 20:08. I apologize for the somewhat lack of variety in the screenshots. It's not like there's a lot we can grab in the dark, obviously, so I'm giving you as many views of the train as I can get with actual light on it. There's Behringersdorf. $140 remains our limit. I'm going to go ahead and push it to $115 this time. But we have 1 3/4 miles to go. We have to be there in a minute and a half. We have a 1 in 4 gradient here, or 1.4 gradient. Sorry, that's not a ratio. I've been looking at this 1.9 and that thinking, that's a heavy gradient. No, it's not at all. .8 though, that's a little heavier. Still not bad. So I've eased the brakes off quite a bit now because I came in a little too slow there. Now 1/10 of a mile away from the platform, I'm going to go ahead and increase the brakes a little bit more. You may have heard in the audio that I removed the brakes for a moment, but now I'm going to go ahead and bring the train fully to a stop. We do now have the actual time of the stop coming up. And we should be on time at Behringersdorf. Departing Behringersdorf, we're now entering Nürnberg. Our next stop is Erlenstegen. A little bit of a longer distance to cover here, 4 kilometers, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the speed up a little bit. We should be able to cover it in the space and speed that I now have. I think 115 is good enough. Don't you? There's a countdown marker coming up for a distance signal. Looks like we're all good here. There is a 110 speed limit coming up. I have plenty of time, so I'm going to start slowing down now. I am under 110 already, but it's right by the platform. I'm going to have to be a lot slower by that point. So I'm down to 90 for now. That will do for this part of the journey. That's a mile and a, or a kilometer and a half per minute. And I have 2 minutes to do this, with about a kilometer and a half to go. You can see Nürnberg Ost is very, very close to where we are, and the speed limits do start dropping further as we get towards Nürnberg itself. You can see another countdown indicator coming up here. I'm going to stop at 60 kilometers per hour for right now as we make our approach. That's still plenty for being on time. We do have a green signal, so I don't have to worry about a random 40 here. So I'm going to do a heavier brake now to get ourselves down to the 30 to 40 range. Okay, taking the brakes off again. So we're going to be stopping at Nürnberg-Erlenstegen right now. This should add another 67 points to my score, and that'll get me to 871. 2 more stops to a perfect run as we complete our stop at Nürnberg-Erlenstegen. Leaving Erlenstegen, our next stop is Ost. I'm not going to go to all the way to the 100 kilometer per hour speed limit. I know there's a 90 up ahead. There could be signal limits imposed as well. In fact, that white dot on that green signal has me worried. I'm going to hold it at where I am for a moment. Ost is right there. It's only a minute and a half we have to be there. There is no problem with this signal, so we can carry on. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring it down to 60 now. So from what I can see, the timetable for this scenario was very well crafted to give lots of room for catching up if you do fall behind due to an emergency brake or something like that. You have a chance to catch up on this scenario. Makes it a lot more fun when you can actually come in on time even after a major mistake early on. Even if you lose points at a couple stops along the way from there. you can still catch up and still have a reasonably good result. Even a very low negative result can be a reasonably good result in a situation like that. So I've come right to the end of the platform, not intended, but we are stopping at Ost. Leaving Ost, our final stop is Nürnberg Hbf. Gonna leave my throttle setting at 2 now that I'm above the minimum there. We have a 90 followed by an 80 coming up. And my throttle setting at 2 stops me at 70. So that means a 3 probably stops you at 85. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am expecting a signal at some point to stop me at 40. Not yet. There is a station right there. I am at 80, so I am where I want to be. I'm actually just a little under that now, but that's okay. So we are definitely going to keep an eye on those distance signals now. If I see one with a yellow color in it, I need to start lowering to 40 by the next signal. Or if I see a number above a signal, then I need to start lowering to that number, probably a 4. There's the yellow. That signal is 8, that we're going to be slowing down for is 0.8 of a mile from the platform. I think we have to be 40 by that signal. I keep saying mile, 0.8 of a kilometer. That's another nickel in the swear jar, guys. Ding. Okay, I've slowed down where I need to be at 40 right now. You can see the double yellow there, which is indicating a stop up ahead. I actually did not need to be at 40 yet. I think it was a little further along the 40 is. But the double yellow does mean there's a stop aspect ahead we need to keep an eye on. So I'm coming in a little slower than intended, unfortunately. So we're going to scan ahead here. This may be our 40 signal here. No, it isn't. What do I know? We're a quarter of a mile from the platform anyway. There's the 40. Okay, I knew it was coming. So you just see we just made a couple of sharp turns, which is what I wanted to zoom in on there to show you the sharp turning pattern we're taking. We're going to zoom back out. We're going to stay on the cab now for the rest of the journey. Still twisting and turning up there. So we're going to go ahead and bring the train to a stop as quick as we can now because we are at our stop point. I went down to 40 a little early. So we're now on the platform. This should do the job. Arriving at Nürnberg Hbf we should still be considered on time for a perfect run. So let's open the doors and let's take a look at our train as we finish. That's the best light we've had on this train so far. Obviously, since we are at our terminus, I've turned the headlights off. We've shut down the train going to the other end to go in the other direction. I believe this train may head out again tonight. Maybe the last service of the night. I don't know the timetable off by heart. I don't know. So, yeah, either way, we can see the stairs down into the rest of the station, which is not really shown here. That's fine. And a very indecisive lady there who came in this direction and now is heading back. And now is hopping back on the train. So I guess there is a service later. What do I know? Oh, I see what's going on. She came from the stairs. Okay, that guy's doing the same thing. And he... What are you doing, sir? What are you doing? Okay. That was interesting. Anyway, there's our final message. Well done, driver. That was a chilly run through the valley on this winter's evening. Will Star passengers head home or make their onward connections? We have little time to rest before heading back through the valley. Yep, there is another service. We're not doing that service, though. Our scenario ends here. That is that. I will see you at the results screen. And I've unlocked Winter in the Valley for the Pegnitztalbahn route. So that is another achievement cleared there. And yeah, 1,000 points, perfect score. I didn't have any issues. In fact, I don't even think it was a penalty. No, it was yeah, it was perfectly timely, on time. Just couldn't get the full score because I already had 1,000. So there we go. That is another scenario in the bag. We got 3 more to do on this route. We're not going to do them right now because they're all really long scenarios, and I'm on limited time right now. Obviously, I want to do something else for next week. I was kind of hoping to have the Centenary local pack for the Scotsman ready to go, but I'm probably not going to have it. I will have it when I come back on Thursday, I'm pretty sure, because I'm going to be gone until Thursday at this point. But again, I'm going to be visiting with family returning from their place in Florida. I'm then going to be going to a couple of local hockey games. I had to stand in line for a couple hours to get those tickets, so that was quite an interesting day I had that day, standing in line and walking to the back of the line later on to see how many people were there. There were hundreds of people there. It was a busy, busy day there. But the game pretty much sold out in one day. Didn't even get to online sales. Not wearing a lot of tickets left for online sales. So it was actually quite remarkable how well the fan base for the team came to life here to get those tickets. Can say I'm kind of proud to be going to those couple games because I'm in a really good fan base here, needless to say. But in any case, that's what I'm going to be doing for a couple of days. I'll be back in the city, but I'm just not going to be coming back by the house because I'm going to be with my mother, taking her back and forth to the games as well. So, yeah, you got to do the nice things once in a while, and I'm doing that. Especially because one of the tickets I ended up picking up was for her. So, very, very nice thing we're going to get to do there. We're going to get to see something we've never gotten to see before. And at this stage in the season that we're still playing hockey in May, which is very nice. So, we may never see that again, and you never know. So we have to take our chance while we can. And we're doing it. So that's why I'm going to be gone for a few days. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to have the Centenary Pack ready to go now. I can't guarantee it's going to be there by Friday. Even if it is, I don't know what the length of the scenarios is. So as long as they're not too long, I can probably play the first couple, have them for Friday and Saturday. And that is the goal, to have those Centenary scenarios for Friday and Saturday. I'm not going to put out a video tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm going to just go ahead and leave it at this for a while. I may record some other scenarios for future use, but I'm not going to be recording any additional content for Friday and Saturday at this point until I know if the Centenary Local Pack is here. So if I don't have the Centenary Local Pack in my library by then fixed, those backup scenarios might get used. You never know. We'll find out. But for right now, all I need to know is that we've got this scenario done. That completes this mission. I have 3 more to do in this route in the future. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned. Obviously, hit that bell to know when I post something else, and stay tuned for whatever does come next, Centenary Local Pack or something else. In the meantime, have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.